Hey guys, welcome back to Retro Pop Planet. My name is Mark. Have you ever found yourself trapped in the house with limited things to do? I thought I would make this video to just sort of demonstrate that you can make art out of pretty much anything that you already have in your home. I guess it's kind of a weird thing to admit on camera, but I like coloring books. I pick these up whenever I can. I've got a variety of them. So in today's video, I thought I would show you how to make art with supplies that you may already have in your home. I chose this Nickelodeon coloring book. So I'm going to show you how to make a painting based off of supplies that you might have laying around the house. We've already got the coloring book. Next thing is you might have laying around is some scrapped cardboard. This is from a box that I've opened up, and I'm going to show you how to go about priming your surface here, and then tracing the coloring book over top, and then painting using whatever you may actually have in your house, like some leftover paint that your friendly neighborhood paint contractor may have left behind. So let's get to priming it with the paint that I just showed you, and you can basically use any acrylic based paints that you have lying around the house. I have some art supplies, so I'm going to just use those up, and let's go. Unfortunately, I lost the footage where I was actually tracing, but I've done this multiple times in several other of my videos, and it's a pretty easy process. I actually used tracing paper on this just to make it go by faster. Oh, hold up. We need some music. Now for this piece, I'm going to be using very cheap acrylic paints that I got from a local craft store. I think I bought this entire kit for around 10 bucks. Now they're not a heavy body acrylic, which actually works pretty well because I can still see my lines underneath. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to build up several layers just to get the color degree that I'm really looking for. Now, if you're watching closely, you probably already caught my mistake. I thought I was pretty careful in tracing my lines, but I realized that I actually missed a few. And unfortunately, because I missed those dividing lines between his chest color and the rest of his body, I have to go back and then correct my mistake. I remember when Ren and Stimpy first premiered in 1991. And it was just this weird little show that was completely different than anything else that we were watching. It just was like this weird gross out humor. All the kids at school would try to basically mimic Billy West's voice. Do you remember watching this show live? And if so, let me know in the comments what you thought of it. I'm really liking how this cardboard is getting this weird dimple effect as it gets wet. It's creating this really interesting texture that is a bit of a challenge, but it's actually kind of a fun challenge to figure out a way around. I'm building up layers on Ren here because I don't necessarily have the color that I actually need to use for his body. And I do have it in some of my more expensive art supplies, but that's not really the point of this whole challenge. It's just to use cheap supplies that I have lying around the house. The color palette that I have with these inexpensive paints aren't as sufficient. If you're in the same boat with limited supplies, I would encourage you to start color mixing and just try to figure out how different colors work together. It's one of those paintings where you just kind of space out and you're listening to music, and as you can tell, I'm not even really paying attention to my camera angles. I'm having so much fun with this. Usually before I start a project like this, I'll take my time, I'll do some color mixing, some color tests, but this is just supposed to be fun, just a free-form painting. In most cases, I'm actually just color mixing directly on, if not the palette, directly onto the board. Don't freak out if you color over the lines. I'm going to show you at the end of the drawing how to actually do some line work to get those nice crisp smooth edges. With whatever coloring book page you use, you don't have to trace every single line. What I'm discovering is that this background is very detailed, and I kind of wish I would have not included a background and then just come up with something on my own. Feel free to get creative and add any details or characters or background that you wish. Another reason why I like coloring books is it actually takes the stress away from the drawing. You can just kind of sit and relax and just paint. People tell me all the time that they don't like art or they can't get into art because they're not very good at drawing. Well, I hope that this video, if anything, demonstrates that you can actually still do art, create, craft, paint by using another artist's drawing. Just make sure that you give them credit. I tend to like coloring books that are more aligned with my interests, so I'll gravitate towards cartoons, superheroes, things like that. If you have a variety of brushes like I do, you can choose some that have different thicknesses, wider or smaller grips, and it'll actually give you some more control when you're actually applying the paint. I use some of my wider flat brushes when I'm trying to create broad strokes on the canvas, and then I use these little fine detail brushes when I want to get in and clean up some of my lines. I'm just using Sharpies to do my line work. You can get 2 or 3 Sharpies in a pack for a couple dollars. These are just several that I already have in my home. Here I'm using an X-Acto blade to cut out the pieces of this cardboard that I don't need. I actually think scissors probably would have been an easier thing to use than the X-Acto blade. Don't forget, every artist signs their artwork at the end of a project. Okay guys, welcome back. Are you ready for the reveal? Here is the final piece. One thing I did off camera was I added some Krylon triple thick just to give it a clear coat protectant, and it actually gives a really nice gloss finish. What's really interesting about the texture of this cardboard is, at least mine in particular, I have this very weird sort of fold. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it definitely gives it its own unique character. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you tried and you found fun and easy to do. This took me about 6 hours, so it definitely created some fun where there might be some boredom if you're trapped inside. This is also very suitable for framing. It's an 8x10 size picture, so this will fit right into a frame pretty easily. Again guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know if this is something that you tried. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching and keep creating.